Live from the studio of his parents' basement, the Have You Seen It podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. My name is Mason Knight. Sitting across from me is the one and only Cash Krause. But before we begin, if you guys could please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. So with that said, Cash, what are we reviewing today?
Well, are we in black and white?
We are in black and white.
Okay, that could be a little hint. You
could.
bet your sweet ass we are.
Only a handful of black and whites a year.
It's very rare, so you definitely want to jump on the chance when we shoot in black and white.
I always get excited when we shoot in black and white, gotta be honest.
You gotta say, it does add an element of drama to everything, I think. Makes it a little more intense, but today we are doing The Curse play, the Scottish play, some theater nerds refer to it as.
Absolutely.
They're very scared of this play.
Yes, they are, extremely.
But we are not in a theater today.
We're not.
So we can scream it from the rooftops, baby. We are doing The Tragedy of Macbeth. Oh, God. I immediately started coughing up blood.
Blood?
No! Why did I do The Curse?
It's like saying Candyman in the mirror 5 times.
You get 4 more.
All right, well, I'm done.
Chill out,
I'm
okay?
one and done
All
on
right.
that.
But yes, the newest A24 film. Big fans of A24 here.
Probably the biggest fans of A24.
I want some A24 merch, but it's so damn expensive.
It is expensive, but I'm getting me a dad hat. You know what? We keep bringing it up. I just want to go right now. Pause the podcast. I need to go get an A24 dad hat.
Yeah, I don't mind though, because I just hope that maybe that profit goes back into a budget of some kind.
A great
maybe.
film?
Probably
Yeah.
not, but yeah.
Well, they sell, not to get too off, but it is A24, so it's relevant. But they sell full-blown scripts.
Oh, I know. I want screenplays. Yeah, hardcover too. Those are fucking awesome. Love the one I've looked at a million times is the Lighthouse one. That would be awesome. But yes, The Tragedy of Macbeth, starring half of the Coen brothers. First time ever Joel Coen has directed on his own for this new A24 film. Yeah. And Ethan Coen is the other part of the Coen brothers, who I guess is like semi-retired right now.
Wow.
Last I heard, he was like pretty upset about the movie industry and just film in general, and just, I don't know, some kind of artistic thing. But
that's fine. I mean, sometimes for artists, it's a good idea to take a break, like
absolutely,
your mental health and everything, and like that shit is stressful. Making a film is very stressful. Some people are born to do it. Some people need to have breaks, and it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to force yourself into doing a movie you're not really passionate about, because then it's going to come out shitty.
Yep. But
it's got to be weird, though. Yeah, you've always done films with your brother for the last 30 years.
And now he's just not there.
I know.
You don't know how to react to that.
There's got to be some kind of psychological thing of being like, am I the not talented brother? I'm like, what if he has all the talent?
What if this film is absolute dog shit?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Turns out they're both probably pretty talented.
Well, I would say so.
But yeah, quite a cast, though, for this theater production on film. I don't even know what you call it. But Denzel Washington playing Lord Macbeth. Frances McDormand, who is Joel Coen's wife.
Yeah.
And also a pretty good actress.
I
should have preferenced with that, probably.
I would say you're right on the mark on that one.
But she's playing Lady Macbeth in this, and it has a big cast. Brendan Gleeson is in it. He plays King Duncan. But Mason, what did you think about Macbeth? It's always kind of weird going in to see another Shakespeare
adaptation.
Yeah.
I won't lie, Shakespearean language for me, and I think for most people, unless you're like really a true Shakespearean lover, the language for me was hard at times to kind of comprehend and trying to follow along the story. Luckily, I know the tragedy of Macbeth. I know what happens
at this point.
So it was easier for me. But and I only bring that up because in reference to like someone who may not be familiar with Shakespeare or like super familiar with it, obviously everyone is, but it might be a little difficult to follow.
Yes.
For most people.
And this story has been told so many times. I mean, not as just Macbeth, but as other films just following the Macbeth formula and making it their own. So you really know the story beats. And we've talked about it before on this podcast, but because we're just two farmhands, illiterate farmhands, we don't period accurate dialogue can be difficult for us.
Can be
Simpletons.
Simpletons, absolutely.
But yeah, I don't. This one, I didn't mind it because it felt like I was literally just watching a play.
Yeah.
Like all the sets were clearly made on a soundstage. And so it really made it feel like I was there in the theater with them. So I kind of didn't mind it because it felt like what you would get at if you went and saw a production of Macbeth. And I really ended up enjoying that. The set design was amazing. This is probably this year's most visually striking film. I would say this and Dune are right up there with just the visuals are stunning. It's amazing.
And speaking on behalf of the visuals, what I really enjoyed was the night sky a lot of the times and just how bright and vibrant the sky was. Even at night, too. It looked really good in black and white.
And because all of this was made on a soundstage, it's all like a very minimalist style. Like if you were to see it on a stage, you know, and if a stage production had like the highest production budget of all time.
Yeah.
Because that's what it looks like. It looks amazing, and no play is going to look this good. Clearly. Yeah. But yeah, even the night sky looked amazing. It all kind of looks otherworldly because it all is all handcrafted.
I totally agree with that, yeah.
It makes it look like you're watching Macbeth on Mars or something. Like it's so, I don't know, desolate at times, very empty.
I love that opening, the opening of the film too, with the scavengers.
Yeah.
In the clouds, you know, just kind of just hovering about. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I ended up really, really liking it. Yeah. You know, it's one of my favorite Macbeth adaptions for sure. Denzel, he just kills it, man. This is the movies I want to see Denzel doing. I don't want to see him doing action films at this point. I want to see him doing films that are going to push him. And he is like, you can tell he's enjoying it. He's done a lot of Shakespeare and a lot of Broadway, and he loves it.
A true thespian.
He really is. He really is a Renaissance man.
Yes.
But yeah, he's incredible on this. Frances McDormand is incredible in this as Lady Macbeth. It's a tragic play, I guess. It is literally a tragedy.
It's literally a tragedy. Yeah.
If you haven't seen it, but yeah, just kind of a story about a man going mad with the lust for power.
Yep.
And he
goes and he does things that you wouldn't typically think someone like that would do.
Yeah, and it's just
because of a prophecy.
Yeah, those goddamn 3 witches.
Which, God, we got to talk about the witch. Or the witches, I should say, technically.
Yeah, all played by
one person.
Catherine Hunter, who stole the show for me.
Holy shit. Dude.
She is like a kind of, I went on a Wikipedia, and she's like a classical trained, like theater, started out in theater, does mostly theater. She only has like 6 screen credits, and one of them being a very short role in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Very short. Yeah, she says she's like a neighbor that watches over him or something. But holy hell, she's very physical.
Most physical, like
it's amazing.
The performance she put on was absolutely incredible as the witches, especially in they're in the desert, right? She's like doing this weird movement, putting arms like as you brought up earlier, otherworldly, where it's like this witch, this demon is not from this world. Like I very much felt that.
Like I said, yeah, it feels very odd. Everything feels very fucking off. And one of my favorite scenes is when Macbeth, if you haven't seen the play, he kills one person, and then it's a slippery slope, my friend. Now you got to kill the guy, then kill that guy.
After the first kill, it gets easier. Yeah.
Now you got to kill the guy who killed that guy, who also killed that guy, and it's like he's murdering people every day at this point. Yep. So he's going a little mad. And he
killed the king, and then he had to kill the king's servants, right?
Yeah, and then he had to kill the guy that hired those guys. Yep. But yeah, he had to kill Banquo, who was also part of the prophecy. The witch said, "You're going to have a ton of kids that become king." And Macbeth was immediately like, "Whoa, what the fuck? I'm king. How's that guy going to have kids that are king if I'm king?" So got to kill that guy, of course.
And then they had to kill the little boy as well, Lance.
Yes. Well, he had to go. And this fucking guy, he could have ran more than 4 feet.
He could have. I kind of lazy kid.
What is he? What is he even doing? He runs 2 feet lazy.
Lays down.
Oh, God, I'm so tired.
I should have done cardio.
I'm a 12-year-old, but my God, the sideburn is killing me.
Well, yeah, you're really going to have a sideburn now. Yeah. Or a side ache now, because you're going to have a blade enter that side.
But yeah, that scene where he's chasing the bird that flies in, and it's kind of a funny scene, because Shakespeare kind of had comedy. I mean, it was a weird, different kind of comedy. It was more tragic, because people love tragedies back in Shakespeare, 15th century.
Oh, they ate it right up.
Oh, people suffering was the funniest fucking thing in the world.
Think about their entertainment back then. Yeah. Oh, instead of going down and watching a good old film, they'd go down and watch a hanging or a burning.
Everything revolved around death. People were so morbid back then because everyone you knew, oh, there's Tom the baker. He got a cold. Fucking dead.
Fucking dead. 29 years old.
There's Jerry, stubbed his toe. Dead. Peak of his life. Dead. Never saw that. So it's just funny, but there are some like very weird tragic scenes, especially when they all go in that room and Denzel's chasing the bird around.
Oh, because he's hallucinating, yeah. And all the dinner guests are looking around like, this is the king? This is not good.
He's yelling at a bird that flew in. It's hilarious.
I love it because Frances McDormand, Lady Macbeth, is telling everyone, no, he's had this his whole life.
First she's like, sit down. We're finishing the dinner. And then they all run in, and she's like, get the fuck out. Everyone go home. She's freaking out. But that scene where he goes to sleep, and then the witches appear on the wood. And she's like doing that weird Green Goblin like stance.
Perching. Yeah.
That was like the most visually striking scene for me.
Yeah, it was definitely creepy.
Like she's right above him, and she starts dropping shit in the water.
Yep. And another prophecy.
Yeah,
and the baby's finger that was strangled. Just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, and you forget how much Shakespeare influenced the world now. But like the witches say, boil, toil, and trouble, like all witches do. That came from Macbeth. I mean, that's shown in like every witch book or anything that has witches now. But it all came from Macbeth. But yeah, she was amazing in this. She also plays an old man at some point.
Yeah, at one point, yeah. Which I was versatile. So confused until I looked it up because I was like, hold on, I thought that was a woman the whole time.
Yeah, it is.
Because as soon as she played a man, I was like, what is going on here? But no, just a super good actor.
Yeah,
like
phenomenal.
Super big range.
Yeah, for sure. I wanted her more.
Too. Yeah.
I wanted her more in this for sure, but you couldn't have too much witches. No. For sure. But yeah, kind of what also sold it for me is when you watch a play, the violence is clearly, it's play, so it's it's like someone gets stabbed and then like a red ribbon will fly out or something like that.
Yeah.
This one's got violence in it.
It does. It absolutely does. And one scene for violence that really struck me, and I don't know how they did this, bro, but it looked so real. So when Macbeth is in there and he's killing the king, right? And he's hesitant at first, and he puts his hand over his mouth, and he doesn't know whether or not this is the defining moment for Macbeth, whether or not he's going to actually follow through with his plan. And he's like just kind of pressing the blade on his neck, and you see the blade pressing on his neck.
Yeah.
And then he shoves the blade in. Spoiler alert. No, I'm just joking.
It is the whole reason of Macbeth. Yeah. Spoiler alert, King does die in this one.
Yeah, it does.
It'd be a short movie.
It would be super short. And then he jams it in. And like you could see the flesh bend in as he stabs him. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, that's the most realistic knife throat killing I've ever seen.
I just watched like a 20-minute video on prosthetics of people doing Hollywood, and it is incredible. I mean, these guys that make these prosthetics, they're practically doctors. They have to know the entire anatomy of a human being. Yeah. They have to know what the layers of flesh look like, what happens if you cut too deep. It's incredible. And even nowadays, when it's like when someone gets cut and they're bleeding, it won't just be spraying blood. They'll pulsate it like it's beating it from your heart.
Absolutely.
It's fucking incredible, dude.
I have to bring it up because when I was on Green Room, I had prosthetics, right? Because I got killed in that. And crazy enough, the guys do you remember watching Jackass and seeing the prosthetic guy work on Johnny Knoxville? Yeah. He was the same guy who did Green Room.
Oh, that's kind of
weird. Crazy. So I talked about Jackass all the time.
He did the old guy makeup on him?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's kind of cool.
He was a guy from the original. I guess they hired him through basically every film. But the reason why I bring that up is like when he was done and I got to look in the mirror, I couldn't like it. Kind of
it scares you.
It's
yeah.
freaky because it looks that good.
I know.
Like, they are really good at their jobs.
Yeah, it's incredible. They shape it to the body. I mean, just the blending and whatnot, and what they're able to do, hide wires and stuff up your neck. It's crazy.
When they did the pulsing, because my throat got slit in it, and like blood actually, it was all practical. Like, and the blood was squirting out of my neck. But you're right, it was like pulsing.
Yeah.
So it's just like it's crazy how down to a science that they have it, and like how much
just
research
years
and
of
work.
doing it. Absolutely, yeah. Just years of doing it. Like it took forever to get a realistic blood formula for like Hollywood. It like happened like after like in the 80s, someone finally like cracked the code for a realistic blood. And you also have to have the blood that shows up great on camera. Yep. It's got to be kind of opaque so the light. But this one has the added benefit of being in black and white. And what black and white does is it hides.
You can use chocolate syrup.
Exactly, because black and white hides details. Yeah. It hides a lot of details. So a film that will be shot in color and that's all shot on a soundstage will look fake. It will look like a sitcom. Sitcoms, you can always tell they're shot on sound stages, right?
Absolutely.
But adding black and white for this film, it hides those small details and it makes it all look amazing. Like you can watch It's a Wonderful Life in color. They have it in black and white and in color on Amazon, and I watched the in color version this year. And it looks like shit. I mean, it's just all the plants are so fake.
Yep.
They all look so plasticky. The background is so clearly a matte painting and whatnot. But once it goes in black and white, those finer details are all missed. So the plants look realistic again. The backdrop looks real. It definitely gives you. It's an artistic reasoning for having it because it adds drama, but it gives you some kind of technical aspect to it too.
For sure.
Like I said, this one, the whole thing, it's made on a soundstage. You can even see the walls are like plaster or whatever. Like clearly they wouldn't have plaster walls. And
well, even like when they're on the road and they're traveling and you see the back of them as they're walking.
Yeah.
It's clearly because you see the night sky and then just the dirt road. It looks really good, but clearly a soundstage. Like
right.
That's definitely not on location for them shooting those.
It being in color would be like Wizard of Oz. You know,
For sure.
It would take you out of it.
Yes.
But it being in black and white, and for this film, it's perfect. It never takes you out of it.
Yeah.
Like
I think they definitely made the right choice in black and white too. And, you know, as you said, it gives it artistic value. I mean, we're talking about Shakespeare that is hundreds upon hundreds of years old. You know, so it does give that feeling of kind of that old school, and then sticking with primarily Shakespearean language. I do think it was a bit dumbed down from the original. Not dumbed down. That's not the right word. But it was easier to understand than I think just straight up. Macbeth.
Probably, yeah, for sure.
I think they did some workings there, but yeah, man, it was absolutely great film, and on Apple TV Plus.
Yeah.
Now, I've never signed up for Apple TV Plus. There have been a few shows and movies that I've been interested in, but I'm definitely going to have to check out that app now because I got 30 free days.
There you go.
So I'll see if I'm going to pay $4.99 a month for it.
Yeah, I can definitely see this one being nominated. I mean, it's going to be nominated for a lot. But best cinematography, best set design.
Which we haven't even really talked about cinematography yet either.
Yeah, this film looks, like you said, the shots with the night sky look, because it just... Again, it's so vivid, but it looks like, I don't know, black paper with holes punched in it.
Exactly.
But again, you don't get to see plays very often. I mean, unless you go to the theater, they almost never shoot them on film because, like, why would people come to see my play if they could just see it at home?
Exactly.
So it's cool to see. To me, that's what it more felt like. It just felt like, to me, the best, possibly highest budget production of Macbeth you will ever fucking see.
Oh, yeah, with the best cast.
Yeah, it might not be the best, like there may be stage productions that are better than this, but it's the highest value you'll get because you'll never get a Playhouse spending fucking $30 million on set design.
No, absolutely not.
I mean, not a chance, but...
One thing I was very shocked with was which I thought it was appropriate after watching the film, so it's not a gripe. I was just shocked when I initially went to the film and saw this. But the film's only an hour and 45 minutes. With a story like this and how much like you could get into, I was definitely expecting this to be on the latter side of 2 hours.
Macbeth is the shortest tragedy that Shakespeare has ever written. It is much shorter than most of them. Yeah. But I was so happy with the time because absolutely right. For me, Shakespeare, I think, oh, this is going to be 2.5 hours. Yep. I mean, but I was almost shocked that this wasn't even a full 2 hours. I think it was an hour 45 or something. Mm-hmm. It was a perfect runtime for me. I thought so.
So I got to ask, as far as like old stories, right? What one did you like better from A24 this year? Tragedy of Macbeth or The Green Knight?
Whoa.
I had to ask.
That's a great question. That's a great question. And that's another one that The Green Knight, of course, A24, was so beautifully shot. Another one that was so stunning. You're probably dipping into my top 10s on here.
I am? Okay. Well, maybe we can say
no, it's fine. I'm gonna have to say The Green Knight. I really love The Green Knight.
That's funny. That's what but it's very close. Like I definitely enjoyed this one as well. And I think if you are a fan of Shakespeare,
they're two very different.
They are.
I mean, they both medieval, but very different styles of movie and just how they shot. And this one's much more. Macbeth is much more, like I said, shot like a traditional play. The actors are even overacting most of the time. I mean, and that's what you have to do on the stage, you know, because you have to convey emotion much larger. But I really like the fantasy elements of The Green Knight.
The fantasy elements were cool.
Seeing those giants and the fox talk and all that. This one was more traditional in a sense, but I like both of them.
What do you think if you were an award nominee committee person? What would you nominate this film for, realistically?
Well, I think you definitely nominate Denzel for Best Actor. He was phenomenal in this. It's his best role in a really fucking long time, for sure. I don't know, man. This one might be nominated more than any other film. Best adapted screenplay, I would probably say, but for Joel Coen for adapting. Frances McDormand could have best leading lady.
Oh, okay.
In this, we could get a best.
Do you think
best supporting actress for Catherine Hunter, who played the witches?
Yeah.
Why the fuck not?
That's a real possibility, actually.
Yeah, I know she's only on screen for 8 minutes, maybe.
But those 8 minutes or whatever, however many minutes she was, she stole the show.
It'd be awesome if she got. If you can give Anthony Hopkins, you know, for Hannibal, he only is on screen for 11 minutes of the entire film, you could give her best supporting. I'd say at least a nom, I think, would be nice because it's well deserved. That's a hard role. How cool would that
be too? To only have like 6 film credits, to primarily be a theater actor, and then to go and get nominated for an Oscar.
Well, it'd absolutely put her on the map more than it already is. Yes. She'd be in everything.
Yeah, this film was shot in just 36 days, which is the shortest shooting schedule of Coen. So.
Yeah, this is also has to be one of the shortest Coen brother movies. Period.
Yeah, that's true.
I feel like all of them are around the 2 hour mark or 2 hour plus for sure. But and films like this will always get nominated for best costume design, best set design for sure. Anything that's medieval and they actually do a good job. But it's got a lot of competitions.
It does, man. 2021 is going to be wild. For the awards. The Oscars are typically held when? February? Isn't that typically when they're held?
No, I think March.
Oh, it's March?
I think March,
okay.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, I mean, the cast was awesome in this.
Yeah, I loved watching Denzel slowly go mad. It's not a Denzel you see very often, and it's him kind of putting it all on the line, but he goes full on mad. I mean, it's Macbeth mad. I mean, he goes crazy for sure.
I was pumped about the cameo of Stephen Root.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because he just made an appearance, or Stephen Root, whatever. But he just made an appearance in the Mandalorian or the Book of Boba Fett.
Oh yeah,
but he did. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's not a spoiler.
You don't really know who he is.
Yeah, you don't know who he is or what happens, but yeah.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, I liked one of my favorite scenes was when, if at the very end, again, spoiler alert, we're getting into it, but he starts to lose his kingdom, lose grip of everything, reality. His wife, starts to lose her hair. She also starts to go crazy.
Yeah, starts sleepwalking in a very severe sleepwalk where it's like, I don't know if
the doctors won't even go near her. They're like hiding from a corner.
They're like, it's science.
And even Macbeth is like, no, I need you to see her. Like, go talk to her. And
I need you
to
fix her.
I can't do it. Yeah.
They're terrified.
They won't go within 20 feet of her. But she's the one that started all this shit.
She is.
Lady Macbeth is a very complicated role to play for anyone.
Yeah.
But she's the one that tells Macbeth, hey, the witches told you, go for it. And Macbeth's like, I don't know, I should murder the king. Regicide.
No, go for it.
No, fucking do it.
Do it now. Okay.
He's like, all right.
Like, all right, happy wife, happy life.
Turns out, not the case.
No. Yeah, no.
But there is a moment where he's losing everything, and they're sacking his kingdom over Scotland, and he's at this point he's murdered, or he's attempted to murder Macduff. He murdered his wife
and all his children.
Let's talk about that scene. Was awesome how that was shot. Throwing him into the
super
smoke.
Cool.
So
I mean,
fucking
horrific because it's a child,
but it made it look like he was throwing the kid straight into hell.
Yeah.
I mean,
in Dante's Inferno, bro.
For sure. It was fucking awesome. It was so cool.
With all the fog and everything, and he just falls through.
Just gets eaten up by the fog. Yeah.
And it was alarming to me too, because I thought he was just gonna grab the kid and be like, "Oh, we've got you." I mean, I know how Macbeth has worked, so I understand.
Right.
But I didn't expect to see, and I'll tell you why. I didn't expect to see that because we saw the Flayens, and we didn't see his death. Right.
I know.
So I thought for sure we were not going to see the wife and this child.
I thought for sure it'd just be off screen.
Yeah.
We'd get a sword swipe and then a cut to black.
Yes.
Nope.
Not the case. Kid tries to be a hero. Yeah. Top rope throws him right into the abyss. Poor kid, man.
Which is like, I mean, really, without the smoke, it's like a 12-foot drop.
Yeah.
He'd probably just break a ton
of bones.
Would just be on the ground flailing. I mean,
if he didn't get burned alive in the process,
exactly.
He couldn't move.
Yeah.
Which is actually even a worse death.
Yeah, and it's so that whole scene. I really did enjoy the movie, even it being a Shakespeare play. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. It could be but that whole scene of them telling like Macduff, like, "Oh, your family died." And he's just done nothing. I mean, just
I know. And then
vengeance. The whole thing is just about vengeance.
It really is. And then Malcolm, like, immediately was like, "No, turn this into anger," because he wanted him to fight for him. I'm like, bro, give him a second to process.
Well, that was the whole thing.
Grief.
Is they wanted his wife and son to die, so now he's got a reason to go and fight
for them.
Exactly.
And then have Malcolm become the rightful king of Scotland.
Yeah. Because Macduff, he had fled to England, so they all thought he was a traitor or whatever. But they're like, "Oh, yeah, by the way, sorry, got there a little late."
Well, it's so funny because he opens up and he's like, "Yeah, no, they're fine."
Yeah, because he wants it to be as shitty as possible for him to take this. Like, he wants it to deliver it the worst way possible.
Oh, of course. Yeah, so he just vows for vengeance.
Right.
Men back then, if they're set on vengeance, it's
nothing left in your life.
The oldest tale,
Oh, you got
Moby
nothing.
Dick, everything else.
But I really like that scene when the other guy comes in and wants to fight Denzel, and Denzel, he's half crazy, half drunk, I think.
Yeah.
And he literally beats this guy to death by slapping and pushing him. I love that.
Then hands him the sword.
Yeah, and he goes around the corner, hits a pillar, and he comes around the pillar and just slaps the shit out of him. And then full on chest push, knocks him to the ground, damn near kills him. Still badass, Macbeth was.
Oh, for sure. But I really enjoyed the final fight scene between Macbeth and Macduff. And I'll tell you why. Because when that crown got knocked off his head, you saw the vanity. You saw everything that...
I'll pick up the crown before I pick up the sword.
Exactly.
Defend my own life, because this is the only thing that matters. I don't care if I die, as long as I die as the king. It was... Exactly. And that's just, you got to hand it to Shakespeare. He's pretty good.
He knew it. He knew what he was doing, okay? The
The
direction
guy's
was there.
a decent writer. Okay?
I would say so.
He's
One of the
all right.
better ones.
He's all right.
Maybe not top 10, but
But it is just it's an intriguing story.
it is.
It's well. I mean, it's so weird to say it's well written, because obviously,
Yeah.
But it's just like it's so weird. Like every once in a while throughout history, you'll get someone that was so ahead of their time. Shakespeare could come and write today for Hollywood. I mean, because it's
of course.
we're just copying everything Shakespeare did in all of our plays, but he was 500 years ahead of his time.
It's wild. Imagine being that good. I mean, just far superior.
Imagine going to one of his plays. You've never seen anything before in your life. I mean, you just watch sheep fucking all day. Like that's the height of entertainment at that. And then you watch this handcrafted play that tells such a crazy personal story. Yeah, your mind has to be blown.
Oh, it's blown. Absolutely.
It's like, I didn't know people acted like this. But yeah, it's amazing. And like you said, that final death scene is
perfect.
fucking great. And
It's
it's not
bow.
a death scene you'll see on a theater stage for sure. Because obviously not. But
Well, and then the beheading, too.
that's what I'm saying. You won't
afterwards,
see that on a theater. But full on, as soon as that crown comes on, head off.
Yep. And then the crown just kind of flies off.
Yep. Crazy.
It is.
He shouldn't have been king in the first place.
No, he shouldn't have been.
That's the whole reason.
But it did fulfill the prophecy. Every little piece of that prophecy got fulfilled, which is the sign of a good prophecy.
It's not even really a prophecy. She just told him a way to become king. Like, hey, if you kill the king,
You will become the king.
I'm not that. I'm really not that
Here's
good.
the plan. Here's the plan. But I'm going to call it a prophecy, but it's really just a plan.
But if you murder the king, there's gonna be problems.
Yeah.
It's
natural.
yeah. But I really enjoyed it.
As did I.
I thought it was I don't know, just a beautiful film.
Yeah.
Well acted.
Yep.
There's not much I don't like with Denzel though.
I know. I love me some Denzel Washington, and I also love his son.
I was about to say that.
Actor.
Will they ever do a film together?
Dude, you would think so. I mean, you would hope so one day. But I get it. He's probably it's John, right? That's his name?
Yes.
John Washington.
I believe so, yeah. It's a sense of, I'm not famous because of my dad.
My dad, yeah. I'm
And I
famous
don't
because
wanna-
I'm a good actor.
Yeah, I don't want to ride the coattails.
But I do think at this point in his career, he has proved it time and time again, with movies like Tenet, Black Klansman, that I think now everyone knows the guy's a great actor. So just do a film with your dad, please. Because that's what we all want, right?
Well, Denzel, man, he really picks and chooses, unless it's those Equalizer films. And then he's like, sign me up for any of those.
Fuck
It's
it,
like,
I'll shoot some people.
no,
I
he
was so
loves those
disappointed,
movies.
dude. I saw Equalizer 2 in theaters with
I didn't
my
like-
dad, and I was like, ugh.
Equalizer 1 was all right, but...
Yeah, the second one, not very good.
But yeah, Denzel, Denzel has 3 movies coming out.
Are you serious?
Oh, well, he had 3 movies coming out in... He had 3 movies coming out in 2021.
Really?
I don't know. Oh, that's director and producer. Never
Oh,
mind.
okay, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, what film was it that he directed this year? There's a film that I saw that he directed, and I wanted to...
It's called A Journal of Jordan.
Oh, the Journal of Jordan. That's starring Michael B. Jordan.
Of course.
Yeah, right.
Titular character.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
Yeah, I got to see that. I guess
He's
I got
directed.
pretty-
He's directed things before though. He's a good director for sure. Yeah, and he was in The Little Things on HBO, which I totally forgot that came out. This year's been so fucking long. It's crazy to think some movies.
That was like January, February when that came out, though. All the Little Things. That's the one with 30 Seconds to Mars.
Yep, Leto.
Leto, yeah,
and
Jared
Rami
Leto.
Malek, the one that I did not like that film very much, man.
I know, that was a disappointing film, too, because I really thought that was going to be one of the best films of this year.
January 29th.
Yeah.
There's some films that when I was doing my top 10 list, I was like, that film came out this fucking year? That came out 7 years ago.
I know, that's what I like. I go back to our podcast all the way down
Yeah.
to January, and then I'm like, what? This film came out in January or February? It feels like it's been 2 years.
Yeah. All right. If you have Apple Plus TV, whatever it's fucking called, would you recommend people go and see this film?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, especially, if you are familiar with Shakespeare, I think you'll very much like this film. Is this a film I'd recommend to someone like Ken Dog, my dad, where he likes action shoot 'em ups? Absolutely not. But if you like really beautiful film, if you like a really good story and a very well put together retelling or an adaptation, I should say, to Shakespeare in Macbeth, yes, definitely go check it out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would say it's even worth probably getting the 1 month for $4.99 via Apple Plus just to see it, because it's like, I don't
know. There's a show on Apple Plus. I forget what it's called, but it's like a sci-fi show.
They have good TV shows.
Yeah, I'm excited.
They don't have that many movies right now.
Yeah.
They have like 8 movies with Tom Hanks that he's got like a contract with them.
Yeah.
That Greyhound movie, and the Finch one where he's carrying the robot around the whole time.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, but this is maybe the best Apple TV movie so far. And it's A24, and
yeah, it's real hard to find.
White.
Yeah, it's hard to find bad A24 films.
Yeah, you got to dig for sure. Yeah. But, all right.
Alrighty. Well, that is our review for The Tragedy of Macbeth. If you guys like what you've seen here, please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. Thank you so much for watching and listening. My name is Mason Knight. That is Cash Kraus. And until next time.
Bye.